Hello and welcome to Healthy Talk, empowering your wellness one conversation at a time. I'm your host, Rachel Mann, and today we're excited to welcome a special guest to the show, Brittany Gus, the newly appointed Director of Senior Life Solutions here at Boone County Hospital. If you've been listening to Healthy Talk for a while, you may remember we've talked about this incredible program before, but today we're diving back in with a fresh perspective, new leadership, and a deeper look at the needs of our senior community. Britt, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So let's start with a little background. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and what led you to this new role as Director of Senior Life Solutions?
I've always had a passion for caring for the older adult. When I was 16, I actually started working as a CNA at a long-term care facility. And you just really form relationships with the residents and their families, which is really rewarding. And after becoming an RN, I did do surgery for a while, which was awesome experience, but I found myself really missing that interaction. And I started working as a hospice case manager. I loved caring for patients and providing support to the families and the patients and facilities. However, I always felt that the spouse was needing more support than what we were able to give to them. And so when I heard about Senior Life Solutions and that it was going to be in our community, I honestly just knew I needed to be a part of it.
For those who might not be familiar, tell us what is Senior Life Solutions and who does it serve?
Senior Life Solutions is an outpatient program at Boone County Hospital that is designed to meet the unique needs of the older adult, which is typically 65 and older, who are experiencing depression, anxiety, or other mental health challenges that are associated with aging.
Why would you say a mental health program specifically for senior citizens is so important, especially here in a rural community like Boone?
The big thing is symptoms of depression and anxiety often go unnoticed or overlooked, and even the person experiencing these feelings may think that it's a normal part of aging. Almost 60% of people 65 and older believe it's normal to get depressed as they grow older. That's a statistic from the Mental Health America. But older adults need to know they don't have to feel this way. Living with untreated depression or anxiety should not be the norm, and untreated mental health challenges can lead to major health declines, lower quality of life, and increased suicide risk. Sharing your mental health concerns with friends, family, or healthcare providers can lead to getting the support and treatment you need. Early intervention can be critical in managing and improving our mental health.
It seems like a lot of seniors grew up in a time when mental health wasn't really talked about, and so they might not even realize that services like this are available. So having a program dedicated just to them makes a big difference, giving them their own space where they're a priority.
Yes, and it helps us to navigate their treatment, knowing what that generation has faced, and the lack of conversations on mental health in their upbringing is something that we really recognize.
Sure.
And we're able to really just hone in on their needs.
What kind of emotional or mental health challenges are you seeing most often among older adults today?
Many times the emotional and mental health challenges are related to major life changes, and we really see that a lot now with the older generation. As we age, the changes include retirement or moving to a new home, especially in our rural area. Moving from our farmhouse that we raised our kids into town is a big one. Losing a loved one, and physical limitations or loss of independence. And these changes can just be really difficult to process, and they lead patients to feeling really sad, guilty, hopeless, or sometimes it does make people feel worthless.
Let's walk through a day in the life of a Senior Life Solutions participant. What can someone expect when they enroll in the program?
The big piece of our program that some people are hesitant about, but honestly it makes a huge difference, is our group therapy. A patient on a group day, they arrive a little early to check in with the nurse or the office patient coordinator. And this involves assessments of their vital signs, attire, mood, any new medications or medication side effects that they're experiencing. And this helps us to communicate with their primary physician also if there's any medical needs that we're noticing. Then they attend 3 group sessions, and they get a break, of course, between each session. Our typical day is normally from about 9 to 11:45.
Do they meet with the same group each 3 group sessions?
Yep, They always meet with the same people in group. Our groups consist of 10 people, so it's not too overwhelming or large. And our therapist leads the group. You start to learn stuff about each other, form relationships, and they just really learn how to support each other.
Would you say that the group therapy, sometimes when you're talking with someone who's thinking about getting started, makes some people nervous, sharing in front of everybody?
Yes, I think that's the biggest hang up we have with our program. And a lot of patients, when we first talk with them, they say, I'm not interested in group, but I'll come talk with you. And we tell them, you don't have to talk in group the first couple times. It's something you can get used to and just listen. And honestly, after a couple weeks, it's the biggest piece to them that they find is helpful.
I'm sure a lot of people that are in your program are dealing with loneliness because we've talked about retirement. You're not seeing those people at work every day. Maybe the death of a loved one. You're missing them. And having that connection with other people who are going through the same thing or the same feelings as them really helps. And it's probably something they don't realize until they're there unloading.
Yes. Yeah, we do see that a lot.
How would you say that most people find their way to the program? Is it through a referral or can someone sign up directly?
We can accept self-referrals or referrals from any physician, their primary, a specialist, family member, community groups, or nursing facilities. But recently, most of our referrals are self-referrals. Patients have just kind of seen us on Facebook or heard about us from a friend, and they call in.
Are you guys full right now?
Our patients titrate in the program. Many times you start with 3 group days, and then you go down to 2 and then 1.
Okay.
Just depending on your needs. So we're always able to accommodate something for a patient.
Do patients graduate from the program? Okay.
Yep, they do. There's not really a set time. We do routine testing, so it's based off how they're doing and their needs. They can also go down on group days as things get better, but if they have something come up and they need to go back up, that's something we do right away. It's very easy and there's no harm in doing that.
You've already seen the impact this program can have. Could you share a bit about how you've seen Senior Life Solutions make a difference in someone else's life?
I've seen the big difference with it providing them with the additional support, and a routine is a big thing, especially after we retire or we lose a spouse. We sometimes start feeling like there's no reason to get up and brush your teeth and get dressed and just do those things that make us feel better. So coming to the group and being there by 9 really helps them find a routine for their day-to-day, and it helps with their coping skills. All of the things that they learn in the program also help them navigate outside of the program. So we work towards realistic, individualized goals to see positive impacts on them at home. For example, if someone's really struggling with getting their house decluttered, we start with goals like 15 minutes decluttering your bathroom. After that 15 minutes, you don't have to work anymore if you don't want to. And just really breaking things down and simplifying things helps with them not being more overwhelmed.
Now that you're leading the program, what are some of your goals or ideas for its future?
Honestly, my goal is to really just get the word out there. Even when I was in the community, I didn't really understand the program. So that's kind of one of my major goals, is to get the knowledge out there. Mental health for seniors is something that has really not been talked about in the past, and it's just really important. I'd really want to make sure our community knows their options. And with the program, the really nice thing is if someone's referred to us and they're absolutely no way, I'm not doing group, we do have resources and we get them connected with somewhere else that would better fit their lifestyle.
How do you partner with family members or caregivers throughout this process? What does that support system look like?
It really depends on the patient's wishes. Our program is confidential and we follow all of the HIPAA rules, and the patient provides a release of information. They get to choose what is shared and not shared when they're admitted. But we do provide things like family therapy upon request, and that does seem to be very helpful when the patient and family are willing to do that.
I'm sure it helps families understand what their loved one who's in the Senior Life Solutions program is going through and how they're able to be supportive without feeling overwhelmed.
Yes. And we do work through stuff even when their family's not involved directly in their care with our program, on ways to discuss it with family members and how to meet your goals, or if you're comfortable sharing your goals with your family members.
For those listening who might be concerned about a parent, a grandparent, or a neighbor, what are some signs that a senior might need mental health support?
The most common signs that we see are when they start isolating, they quit going to morning coffee, things like that. Mood changes, whether it be really happy or really down. It can be either way. And when you start noticing that their hair's not being brushed or their clothes aren't being changed, one of the other things that we see are hoarding behaviors that they never had before, when they're just not keeping up with the home, which is not their normal character.
I imagine there's still lots of misconceptions when it comes to older adults and mental health. What would you say are some of the most common ones that you run into?
I think the biggest one is just thinking that it's normal to be depressed as you get older. Someone gets diagnosed with a chronic illness and people think, well, of course they're down. They just got diagnosed with this. But there are ways to cope with that and work through that. So I think that misconception is just really one of the barriers that we have in improving mental health for older adults.
That it's not just a part of getting older.
Yes.
What about a misconception that it's too late to improve your mental health?
I do think we've heard that, and we've had some people come in that they've had it go on for a long time before they decided to take that step forward and get help. And I will tell you that those are the greatest success stories that we see. They just really show a lot of improvement, and those are what makes this so rewarding. It's never too late.
How do you approach sensitive topics such as grief, loneliness, or even loss of independence?
We always approach things, especially sensitive topics, with compassion. But one thing is, when our patients come to the program and they're wanting to be there and they want to put the work in, while these are sensitive topics, they're so important to discuss. So we approach them head on and work on tools for them to navigate through these topics. The group really helps with discussing these topics. They work together and support each other, knowing they're not alone in those feelings. So I do think that group setting makes it a little easier to approach these sensitive topics because everyone there is going through something.
No matter if you're 8 or 80, I think it's always easier being able to relate to someone who has gone through that too.
Yes, it makes a big difference.
You talked about bringing more awareness to this program. So how can our community help reduce any stigma that exists around senior mental health?
I think the best way to reduce the stigma is to just talk about it. Let the older generations know that mental health's a real thing and it's okay to express how they're feeling and to seek help. You know, you see so much on TV and out in the community now about mental health, and just making sure that our older adults know you can get help for that too. You don't have to just recognize that you have something not going good with your mental health.
Seeking help's a sign of strength, not weakness.
Yes.
If someone's listening to this podcast today and thinks Senior Life Solution might be a good fit or a good idea for them or someone they love, what would the next steps be?
To just give us a call, 515-433-8713. We honestly love walking people through what services we provide, and we also have flyers and informational folders, so we're happy to hand those out or mail them if you don't have time to sit and chat with us. Our goal is also to be a mental health advocate for our community, even if they decide this is not the appropriate program for them, or if we know we can't meet their needs, we'll assist in getting them where they need to be.
Before we wrap up, what is something meaningful that you've learned from the seniors that you've worked with?
I think the most meaningful thing that I've learned is resilience. Each senior that I've worked with has just shown so much strength. Regardless of what they've been through, they have the strength to walk through our doors and do something new and oftentimes challenging for them, to allow themselves to be uncomfortable, to be more comfortable in the future.
Finally, what gives you hope as you look forward to the future of Senior Life Solutions?
Seeing the difference the program makes in people's lives is amazing. I meet with our patients prior to their admission to the program, and to see their improvement in their moods and their ability to work towards their goals that they didn't think were possible is so rewarding. The need for the program is evident, and it's just really great knowing the difference we can make as we move forward and continue serving our community.
Britt, thank you so much for joining us today. We're so grateful for your new leadership and the work Senior Life Solutions is doing right here in the Boone community.
Thank you, Rachel. It's been a pleasure.
And to our listeners, if you want to learn more about Senior Life Solutions, you can find information on the Boone County Hospital website, www.boonehospital.com, or call 515-433-8713. As always, thank you for tuning in. And until next time, stay informed, stay healthy, and keep the conversation going with Healthy Talk.